Let's start off with this because this is pretty funny because I don't think that I've seen anyone more ill-suited to be a television commentator or even a YouTube commentator who has more seems to be one of the guys who you would imagine would be, youth tossing around the term snowflake, but in fact is. I mean, sometimes I think people hate what's inside them so much that they project that hatred outward in such an overblown way. And now, of course, I'm not a psychiatrist. I mean, this is a complete layperson's opinion. And I'm also not a financial expert, so I don't know if Dan Bongino was the reason why NRA TV collapsed. I have no way of knowing that.
None of us do.
None of us could.
There's the lemon and lime budget.
Yeah, I mean, we
don't know.
It's also possible that, it appears, at least from the reporting, that the NRA was in some ways just sort of a slush fund for a lot of people. That's what it appears from the reporting. I don't know, but that's the way it would appear. And that's often, in my experience, personal experience, that when you have sort of a fraudulent enterprise, sometimes the least qualified people get hired for jobs. And that's how maybe someone like a Dan Bongino could get a role there, even though they were ill-suited for it because of their disposition. Now, what I'm talking about is apparently there was a story where some guy was at a Starbucks. He didn't feel comfortable because there was a bunch of cops in there. I don't know. That seems a little overblown to me. I guess I can understand why you might feel that, but what you have to do? You leave. Unless everybody's got a right to be in the Starbucks, as it were, I guess. If you don't like it, you leave. It is one of those stories that are just every day there's always something where some people are acting, in a way that seems a little bit silly to you. If you're on the right, you blow that up into a national emergency. And that's what's happened here. Laura Ingraham, because there's not enough news going around. But she brings this guy on to talk about it. And then Dan Bongino comes on and talk about not feeling safe.
Reacting with emotion.
Yeah.
But I think I was looking at some of the data, and that was one of the things I was thinking to myself. The police, on average, according to reports, kill about 1,000 people a year since about 2015. It's been in the 900s, 990s in some cases. The majority of them are actually white men. So I can understand if this is a white guy, maybe him feeling a little uncomfortable, a little unsafe.
Your answer to this Starbucks thing is the police are killing people willingly.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that I can understand why that person may have felt uncomfortable. That's what I'm saying.
Bongino's going to flip. He's going to flip. Former police officer.
It's data.
So the data, Jonathan says, indicates that people are. I mean, Jonathan is calm, but he said the data indicates that people are rightly concerned. Is that?
I pause it for 1 second. Now, this Democratic strategist is simply commenting on the fact that, this white guy in the Starbucks felt uptight about the cops. He's just explaining why someone might feel uptight about the cops. I can understand it, I guess. I just don't think that the Starbucks has an obligation to tell the cops to leave. But Dan Bongino seems to be having a breakdown. But you wonder if he's having a breakdown about this or about other things that are going on with his career or something. I don't know. Go ahead.
Police officer.
It's data.
So the data, Jonathan says, indicates that people are. I mean, Jonathan is calm, but he said the data indicates that people are rightly concerned. Is that?
I don't really care if he's calm. What he just said was so dumb that I'm stunned he said it on national television.
Are facts dumb?
A police officer, the worst day of a police officer's life. I was there. I'm pretty sure Jonathan wasn't. The worst day of your life is a use of force incident. Number one, Laura, because God forbid you have to use force. You think that's funny, John?
It's
think that's
probably
pleasant?
worse for
like
the
a
people who are
cop
on the
goes to roll
receiving
call. I'm
end of
not
it,
done
I'm sure.
talking. I'm
We
not
got
done
20
talking.
seconds, Dan. We're going to hard break. 10 seconds.
Secondly, you're probably going to get sued and lose your livelihood after you unfortunately had to use force against another human being. If John had served, he may know something about
All right,
that.
we'll check the numbers. We'll have you both
I'll
back.
beat it. Get
We got to do
lost.
an
Now, I'll tell you something. If Dan Bongino is reflective of a typical cop, then guess what?
That's
He
metaphorical.
just proved the case as to why the guy should feel uncomfortable. Dan Bongino goes from 0 to 60. This is a guy who can't keep his composure on a TV set. What would happen if he was actually in some type of situation where someone's life was on the line?
Listen to this guy.
Like, say, for instance, he's a Secret Service agent.
Yeah, say he's a Secret
man.
Service agent getting himself a latte.
You're resisting the argument.
Or a prostitute in Cartagena. That's just saying, just
Jeez.
joking.
Wow.
I have expected Bongino to tell him to show him his hands.
Yeah. I mean,
Right, exactly. Man.
sir, take your hands out of your pockets, sir.
Wow.
Put your hands on the table.
Laura Ingraham had to basically try and calm him down with we only got 10 seconds left. I wonder if that was one of those quick hooks. But, well,
Oh, man. Bong Bong was so upset.
yeah,
Poor Dan
very-
Bongos. At least he's recovered better than Grant Stenchfield.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the other NRA TV guy.
There's a lot of talent there.